I thank our dear Mr. Raja. Where is he? Acha, I thank Raja, I thank all of you. Just give me 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm not an intellectual like so many people here. In fact, sitting here right now, I got an inferiority complex, I'm just a simple boy who did 4 years of marine engineering. I was fortunate enough to stand first in the entrance exam, because my mother had told me if you're not worth it, then don't go ahead with that. So I stood for the entrance exam and I stood first, so they called me, and I'm a poor orphan who lost his father. And then I went for the interview, and first question they asked me is, what is the formula of the propeller curve in the water? So I said, sir, same what it is above water, because you can't change the propeller underwater. The same thing. So they said, you're acting smart. I said, no sir, it is the same thing. I think some of you are proper sailors. And so then I got into Mazgon Dock somehow, and I completed my 4 years. I did a few innovations in the roof of Mazgon Docks which are still operative now. So it makes the whole place slightly cooler. One of the things I forgot to tell you is I applied for my first patent when I was 13 years old. I made a new kind of toothbrush, so I was, so like that I have been slightly innovative, not more than any of you all. I think all of you all are better than me. I sat here, I got a terrible complex from so many intellectuals, Now what I realized is that in Australia, where I have a very tiny link in the sense my kaka was the first high commissioner to Brazil, and he was very fond of girls, so one of his girlfriends was an Australian girl. So towards the fag end of his life, he said, I am going to Australia with her, यहाँ कहीं नहीं रहूँ. So he went over there and he started making aircrafts, with his friends. And when he passed away, he said, okay, if you want, you can take a share in the aircraft plant, or you can all the cash you give to my girlfriend. So I said, then I don't want it, साला काम नहीं करेगा, girlfriend सब कुछ लेके जाएगी, क्या बात है? He said, no, you agree to it. So if you all want to buy an aircraft plant, I will sell the plant to you and hand the money to his girlfriend. So that's how I own a company called Shroff Aviation, SAI, Airworthy Shipping Services, So by default, I can make a 2-seater aircraft. If you all come to New Bombay, you can see a very tiny yard I own. I'm a poor man. So I pay a little bit of money and I build tugs over there. One of the things is during the lockdown, all of you all have complained that no money, nothing to do. So I also complained to one of my Australian friends, hey yaar, paisa hi nahi hai, I'm totally bankrupt. I'll have to sell one of my tugs at a loss. And one of my tugs in the lockdown, which I was building in the port of Kalyan, very poor people would come and cut pieces off, And as a Parsi Babaji, we want everyone to survive. Even if they are robbing us, take it with my blessings, as long as something good is done for you. So in the end, I sold that brand new tug at scrap. I made a tiny loss of 60 lakhs. So I prayed to God, and then one of my friends and this Australian Prime Minister, I know a little bit, in passing, nothing much, So he sent me this, that Shroff, we are making you in charge of qualifications Australia for India as a sales agent. Because we in Australia totally believe in skills only. I don't know if you all have seen a small show by the name of Master Chef Australia.
Yes, I watched. Cookery show.
Yeah, so over there what they do is, they invite home chefs, and they say कि तुम खाना बना के हमको दिखाओ. Forget whether you have been to an expensive school or what. So there you actually have to perform and you win a prize as a master chef. Here also what we do is, when you apply to us to Qualifications Australia, we can give you a proper degree or a diploma based on your inherent skills. We analyze your skills via artificial intelligence. What have you done? Because nowadays each of you all leaves a footprint every time you are there on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, your searches. You know, so by cross-referencing, we find out what have you done and what are the experience papers you have submitted. Now, I don't know if any of you all have met a few of these guys who work in chartered accountancy firms. I know a very nice guy like by the name of Mr. Subramaniam. You know, I knew him when I was 13 years old, and up till now our dear Mr. Subramaniam has not passed his entrance exam for chartered accountancy. So he's the first one who rang me up. See Shroff, I am first, no? I said, yeah, you give your papers. I'm sending that. You will become a chartered accountant in Australia. So our dear Mr. Subbu will finally become a chartered accountant. You know, and I'm all for helping everybody, you know. Qualifications, Australia will charge you a tiny fee and give you this degree which I've always dreamt of. From that long line that our dear Captain D.K. Singh was kind enough to enumerate, I was the second engineer of a vessel by the name of Nan Shirchand. You know, I was taken there when there was a huge explosion on board and 4 people died. So they you know, they ask around in all the circles, okay, who's the hard-ass second engineer? So everybody said this short Parsi Babaji is a real bastard. You know, उसको भेज दो, सबको लाइन पे लेके आएगा. So I, in my loving way, I took over that accident-prone ship and I made it go safely. Not on what I had learnt in my books, but on my inherent skills that don't touch any damn thing until I tell you what to do. You know, so first time that ship ran safely for 3 months, and when I left, I was astonished when the crew came to hug me and handed me flowers. I thought they are doing it because as a farewell, you know, that the biggest bastard has left. But they said, कि no sir, thanks to you, we have all our fingers with us, सब हमारा आँख है, कान है, सब है, and they kept to leave me to the gangway at Butcher Island. So then I realized it's not what you learn or what are the degrees you get, but it's what are the skills you are developing. You know, so I always believe in skills. Even when I sent one of my ships first tugs off for Enron, I had put one of my very trusted boys by the name of Badruddin. You know, I said, "Tu leke ja beta, you have to go to Gabon. We have a master marino on board, very fancy guy, you know." I had to salute him every time he entered my cabin. And being a chief engineer, you know, we are used to saluting all master mariners. So I didn't find it anything awkward, but I wanted only performance. So I put my little boy Badruddin. He was the master of my houseboat. Incidentally, I built the first houseboat in the Bombay with my own hands, you know, because if you work with your own hands, all the boys know how pleasurable it is, you know. Work with your own hands, don't let anybody do it for you. Yeah, so like that you will go forward. I like to do a little bit of carpentry myself. In fact, we Parsi Babajis are not anything fancy. You know, I still have my great-great-grandfather's tool chest in my cabin to remind me that we are originally carpenters who came down in 1725 to build ships, you know. So, Miss Kriplani has stretched out her legs. I hope you are comfortable, Miss Kriplani.
I'm sorry.
You know?
Pun intended, but I have a leg problem.
Leg problem.
I have a little knee injury. So
No.
pardon my...
So anybody who is skilled enough to help her recover, please do it, Dikra. You know, Parsi Babaji is like, me can't be trusted to do it. You know, so skill. No, skills Australia, I have this whole thing, you know, but basically Australia right now has stopped total immigration from China. You all must be knowing that, you know, because Australia was the first nation to accuse this in China of releasing the coronavirus, and they have got hardcore evidence that it was done on purpose. So they banned the entry of all the Chinese to Australia. So they wanted to take in very nice Indians, because English speaking in India is a norm. You may speak Hindi in your home or Punjabi, but nearly everybody speaks English. Am I right or wrong? So Australia has opened its doors in a big way. If you go on Facebook, and I hope some of you are there on Facebook, so we have a thing known as Australian Futures Academy. Build your future in Australia. India is a fantastic nation. Maybe Parsi Bawajis would never have survived in any other place apart from India. Because most people's reaction is you see a Parsi Bawa, just go and kill him. You're doing the world a favor. And you're doing the Parsi Bawaji also a world a favor. Because nobody needs sincere guys like us. Hardworking, polite. And we actually, we come up on our skills. Your father and mother can be anybody. So in case you are interested to get a proper degree and a diploma based only on your skills and your talent, do get in touch with me. Yeah, it is cheaper than most of the degrees and diplomas you get in India. I'm sorry for even shippies. I realized I've met some of the best sailors who don't have a single degree or even a rank. I had a friend who owned Pratibha Shipping. Have you ever heard of Pratibha Shipping?
Of course.
Yeah, so my friend and batchmate is a guy by the name of Sunil Pawar. And I have some experience with the marine emergencies and, towing. You can see some of my interviews on NewsX, NDTV and all that. So he called me, Shroff, abhi kya karne ka? The master we have got, the crew has rebelled against him. So he said, you talk to the master. I said, master, what's happening? He's saying the crew are attacking me, sir. Now they have launched the lifeboat, sir. I said, how did they launch the lifeboat without your permission? Saying they are not listening to me. I said, I use one or two, the Parsi Bawaji bad words. MCVC, go and fucking, take over command, Impress him with the force of your personality. Don't just use the term captain. Ek ko pakdo aur he say, I can't touch the crew. Then he's saying, sir, they're not listening. Then OF, they have launched the lifeboat. And you all know what happened when they launched the lifeboat. Somebody over there had taken command and launched the lifeboat, and so many lives were lost at sea. This accident happened very, very close by in Chennai, near the Marina Beach. So you can have any degree, any rank, but you need to take over command. Okay, you listen to me, or else I am more powerful than you. And power you have to only give yourself. It doesn't come by name or rank. Seize the power. In normal life, be as assuming as the ant that walks on the road. Tiny. You always have seen me a simple Babaji with a cap sitting behind. So unassuming. Show your innate power when you have to. Do some good. And I want to send maximum amount of Indians to Australia on a good this thing with a proper degree based on their skills, not how much they have learned from a textbook. Indians are expert in doing something known as, isko kya bolte hai? Everybody knows what they do from school textbooks. Some people can learn chapters by heart. Huh? Yeah, they do that. So some simple Bawajis like me try to understand the subject. My understanding of maths is very good. I'm rather good in hydraulics, and I'm fantastic in a marine emergency, or any kind of emergency, because I can run ships properly. Even now I own 3 tugs, tiny tugs, because I'm not as rich as so many of you all are. And so this is there. If you all want to send your child to Australia with a proper degree and diploma based on his skills and talent, not what he has ratified or what kind of degree he has got from the Bombay University or any university, get in touch with me and take my card, or you can contact Mr. Raja Vez. Okay, thank you for your time. It's been a real pleasure, And Siddharth, was the speech too boring? Yeah, chalo, thanks, bye.